Hey guys, so I want to talk to you a little bit about Soiree today, alright? So Soiree, bookings without impurities or unwanted elements. Now that I say it out loud, it's a little long, a little lengthy, but we'll worry about that later. Let's just dive into a little bit about what Soiree is, and maybe at the end we'll come up with something a little bit better. Alright, so Drake themes were the best thing that fit everything. Party themes didn't necessarily cover all the topics that we wanted to cover. So why not Drake? Everybody loves Drake. And let's start with something popular. I'm upset, right? And why is that? Well, it's not us who's upset, it's our potential customers. They're tired of the typical party style. More specifically, they're tired of how they're booking their venues. So the toughest thing about putting on an event that we've done through a little bit of research, we figured this out, is finding a venue that accommodates everything that you need. With the old-fashioned and typical way of booking, you would go online or through phone or text to communicate with these venues and figure out what their availabilities were, what did they offer with their prices, and different things like that. But we wanted to put an end to that. So that's why Soiree kind of came about. And to continue on, people are upset because things are going bad. A lot of the logistics and different things like that with putting on an event are just difficult. So as you see, we have a couple of those things that we've come across with some of our research and our problem interviews. The capacity, they couldn't accommodate the capacity. They weren't available on the dates that they needed. The decor was all off. The location wasn't one that they wanted but had to settle for because it was within their price range, so on and so forth. Alright. So that's why I'm glad to introduce Soiree, so that we can change locations and put a new swing on things. Right? So about our locations, what we will do is we will partner with a number of different hosts across the board who will be able to offer a number of different venues. Right? So as you can see, we will have venues that will accommodate anything from a baby shower all the way until a wedding, right? And everything in between. Even if someone wants to put on a sporting event, we'll be able to accommodate that too. And esports is a big thing as well, so we would look to have something along the lines of a arena or coliseum that could accommodate things like that, right? And so right here you can see our prototype. And I want to dive into it a little bit more. As you see, we have explore venues right here, where you can see the venue types and click on that and see the different venues that fit within that typical type of venue. Right? And to get into that last piece of our app, experiences. And when you click on the experiences, you want to be able to control your experience, like controller. So that's exactly what you will be doing when you click on experiences. Think of this more or less as an experience add-on, or if you like pizza, this is your toppings. Okay? So when you click this, you'll be able to find DJs, you'll be able to find event hosts, you'll be able to find speakers, you'll be able to find party planners, and these are professionals that you will be looking at, and they'll be just that, professionals. So these services that they will provide you with aren't going to be amateur type, anything like that. We will verify them and make sure that they are capable of providing the services that they are claiming that they have provided and will provide for you. Alright?
So when you start any kind of business or organization, of course you're always going to have competition, but we really want to stress why we're right above it. So PeerSpace is our #1 competitor that we've identified in our research, but they're not really doing their users right. They're really doing them wrong. We want to show and give the best love to our users. So if you look at the table, it shows everything that we're going to be doing better. So PeerSpace will list their venues, you can explore. They have like some catering and staffing options, but not really much else. With Soiree, you're going to be able to we have a list of services. You're going to be able to explore your services across a large scale across the communities. You're going to have verified venues, which we personally back up ourselves. And you're going to have like licensed service experts, we have the professionals that are here that are going to be able to help our users. We have an estimated 0.9% growth of the event planning industry for the next 5 years, which on first look That's kind of a small number, but the big thing we want to take away from this is that it's a $5.4 billion industry. And exactly, there's no major industry players. And that's a big deal for us. We see that's a lot of potential in the industry, and we think that we can do a lot of good to our users. So you got 10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands. Let me show you how we're going to make some money, man. Our venue owners are going to decide on their own price, any kind of security deposits or fees that they might charge. And what we're going to do, we're going to take 10% commission from it. We're going to take it off the top, and that's going to be additional to if you order a service, such as the bartenders or event planners. And we just take 10% of that total subtotal that's charged to the customer. That is such a great deal because our competitor, as before mentioned, Peerspace, they take 15% commission. So we really want to incentivize our future business partners on why they should help us and we should help them. A big point that we see is a great thing about Soiree. So when doing our research, we were trying to come up with an estimated break-even point, and we now know that that's actually going to come sooner than later. We use that awesome resource called howmuchtomakeanapp.com, which estimate that our price is going to be about $100,000 and $100 upfront cost. That's with developing the app and the first initial cost. So it gets that number from how you want your app to be designed, how you want it to look, how you want it to communicate with your users. It's a great tool. And if we take that number and we compare it to what Peerspace is usually offering with their demand, they usually have about 100 bookings a month, with each making about $400. Is it $100 an hour with 4 hours in each event? So if we look at those numbers, our break-even point is going to be around 2 years, 2.09 years to be exact, or 25 months in 0.08. So we really see a lot of potential in this upcoming project, Soiree.
Alright, so hold on, we're almost there, we're going home. Alright, so to sum things up, Soiree is a digital platform that will be a convenient way for you to find your venues, book your events, and put them on and execute them flawlessly. Alright, super easy, reliable, fast, everything that you would want out of a digital platform that would be offering you the things that Soiree does. Alright, so one thing that we've discovered early on was our first early adapters. And initially we thought this was going to be what we call broke Billy. 18 to 24, college student, either college student or post-grad, not too much money, but wants to be prevalent in their social circles and put on things like birthday parties and things like that. So works within a budget. But as we did more research, we discovered that Soiree can be for anybody. Anybody can be a soireer. Alright, so for example, Ambient Agatha. That is one of our newest early adapters, ranging from 35 to 50, wants to put on a wine tasting, has prevalence within her social circle as well, wants to accommodate for her colleagues, her friends, her family, but her home doesn't do that for her. So she just needs another place where she can accommodate her guests and have this gathering. So like I was mentioning, Soiree can be for anybody. Anybody can be a soireer, right? And I think we kind of figured out the slogan part. So, Soiree, bookings may refund. All right, you're tripping.